Professor. I'm going home. I guess you think I'm pretty lucky getting back so soon. Well, I think so too, but I'm not going to apologize. I had a low number coming in. I've been thinking about a lot of things tonight. I was thinking about how much a guy can learn in 4 years. I'm not the same guy that left home 4 years ago. I feel like a bigger guy. I feel that I'm coming back to a bigger kind of home. And that's a pretty good feeling. It's funny, the guy kind of mopes his way through life. He thinks he's living and he's really sleeping. And then all of a sudden, something happens to him. Like going into the army and fighting a war, maybe. And he wakes up. He begins to see things. He begins to hear things. I never used to shoot my mouth off. That's what this damn penny's done for me. Was 4 years ago, next month I found it. They used to call me Mister in those days. I guess I was the average kind of a slap-happy guy. You know, the kind that's got everything and doesn't know what he's got. Yeah, I was the all-American jerk. He doesn't even know what he got up for. Now he knows. See how happy he is? Why should he be happy? His country wants him to fight. Fight for big words like democracy, freedom, liberty. Hell, he doesn't even know what they mean. He's got a job, he's got a girl, he's got a mother, he's got friends. What are they dragging him off at 6 o'clock in the morning for? This is the kind of a morning and the kind of a day that makes a man feel lonely. Sure, there's a war going on somewhere. Millions of people are being killed or starved or tortured. That's tough, but that's far away. Europe, Asia, China. Those people don't really mean anything to him. That's how we began, that Penny and me. I figured if I hadn't gone back to pick it up, that truck would have hit me. We must all be from the same part of town, same draft board. But outside of Mike Simmons over there, the rest of the guys are strangers. Guys from my own neighborhood. But I don't really know any of them. Heads. 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 That's me, third from the left. You know, a thing like this makes you stop thinking you're so different from everybody else. "1918. Hey, that's the year I was born. Maybe that's good luck. Let's see what else is on a penny. Lincoln. A man with a beard. Reminds me of that statue we saw on the trip to Washington when we were kids in school. It was a whopper of a statue. Miss Anderson said Lincoln was the savior of our country, but he was just a hell of a big statue to me. Liberty. Well, that's another statue. E pluribus unum. Oh, yeah, that's Latin. Dead language. United States of America.
Oregon is bounded on the south by California, on the north by Washington, on the east by Idaho.
That's right. United States with a map. Different colors for the states, and crooked lines for the rivers. That was the United States of America. Wonder what those things are on the side. Looks like a couple of leaves or feathers, maybe.
Get moving, bud. You're in the Army.
I was in the Army, all right, and I didn't like it. To me, it was just drill and march and KP and more drill. They tried to tell us what we were fighting for, but that was just words to me. And then we marched some more.
Coming in! Ho! All right, men. All out on either side of the road. Watch the smoking. All out.
Oh, my feet. They're killing me.
Yeah, mine too.
Why do they have to march us all over the state? I know how to walk.
I suppose if we're going to do some fighting, we might as well get in shape for it.
I wonder when we'll get to the top of this mountain.
This isn't a mountain, it's a hill.
Yeah, what makes you think so?
I've seen a mountain. Yeah, this is one hell of a country, isn't it?
Huh?
You know, the other day a guy asked me what I was fighting for, and I wanted to laugh right in his face. What's that, a lucky penny?
Yeah, it's just a regular penny. It's got the year I was born on it.
Yeah, 1918. Yeah, it's got a lot of other things on it, too. Hell, it's got everything on it. It's got America on it.
Say, when this guy asked you what you were fighting for, the one you laughed at, what did you tell him? What do you say to a guy like that?
Just tell him to take a good look at this penny.
You mean those words on it?
No, not just the words. Tell him to find out what they mean. What they really mean. So they're not just words anymore.
You know, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Quiet!
When you understand what's on that penny, you'll know America. When you know America, you'll know what you're fighting for.
I was pretty sure that dog face was crazy. But some of the things he said kept bothering me. He sure loved this country, but how can a guy love America, except in a song or a speech? You can't fall in love with a map. Then our outfit started to move around that map. We really saw America. And I got to know fellas from all over the country, from the north, south, east, and west. We trained together, ate together, griped together, drank together. Oregon became Joe Higgins. And Washington, which bounded it on the north, became Sam Collins. And Illinois was George Franklin. And Alabama was Henry Baxter. And then America wasn't a map anymore. It was a real country, made up of real people and real people's homes. I remember the night the convoy pulled away from this country on the way over. I suddenly realized I was leaving my country, and I was lonesome for it. Maybe that's what that dog face was talking about. And maybe he wasn't so crazy.
Now, if you don't like that stout, I can get you some beer.
No, no thanks. How much is it?
That'll be sixpence.
This is my first day in London. I'm not sure about the money yet.
Oh. Well, this is sixpence. This is an American penny, isn't it?
Yeah, I carried it around with me as a lucky piece.
Yeah, I never seen one of these before. It's a good picture of Mr. Lincoln.
Yeah, I guess so.
You Americans are great believers in luck, aren't you? Well, we English are too, for that matter. I was talking to my son the other night. He's out of the war now. He lost the sight of his eyes in Africa. And he was saying how lucky we are to have Mr. Churchill. When he speaks, now this is what my boy says. It's Shakespeare speaking, and Milton, and Nelson, and Disraeli, and all the great poets and statesmen and soldiers in English history. And so if Mr. Churchill seems a little grand and eloquent and proud, it's because we've got a grand and proud history. My son's a great talker. Now, will you have a glass of beer with me?
Sure, thanks. Come to think of it, we've got a pretty good history ourselves. Guys like Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson. Lots of people. Mark Twain, Will Rogers. I can't think of them all right now, but we've had some pretty fine men, too.
Yes, you've had some of the finest.
Here I've been carrying a picture of Lincoln around with me in my pocket, and I forgot that my own grandfather saw him. That he was a real live man, like your Mr. Churchill. A house divided, Grandpa used to say when Sis and I'd get in a fight.
A house divided against itself cannot stand.
Yeah, how did you know that?
Why, a man like Abe Lincoln belongs to the whole world.
That's what Grandpa used to say. Only he thought that Lincoln belonged especially to him. Like he was a relative or an ancestor or something.
Father Abraham.
I guess it's the same way you feel about Mr. Churchill and Mr. Shakespeare and the rest. Like they belong to you.
Yes, and they do belong to me, too. They're as much a part of England as this pub.
It's funny, isn't it? How a war starts a guy thinking.
A man never knows what's his, what really belongs to him, until someone tries to take it away from him.
This was his pub. This was their church. Their library. Their city. Their country.
we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. Mr. Lincoln said that. How does the rest of it go?
I used to know. I guess I've forgotten.
Great words. Great words.
It took me a long time to remember the rest of that speech. It was over a year before we got to